Last week, Alistair Overeem revealed that he is now a vegetarian and doesn't plan on fighting anymore because he's moving on. Overeem's management, however, says he's fighting 1 to 2 more times. Beyond Kickboxing tweeted Alistair Overeem is not retiring. Dutch combat sports outlet Main Event NL has reached out to Overeem's management to confirm that the fighter still wants to compete at least 1 or 2 more times before calling it a day. Jorge Masvidal posts footage of him and John Jones taking shots together.
It's an honor to meet you guys. Masvidal's close friends and confidants. Cheers to this man, his promotion, his career, everything that he's doing, everything that he's done. May God continue to bless you.
Cheers. Cheers up, cheers up. Let's go. Let's go.
Robbie Lawler admits to having fear about retiring from MMA. Robbie is set to fight Nico Price at UFC 290. He went on to say, "It's just a feeling I got over time. I've been doing this a long time, accomplished a lot. Just felt it was time. I'm definitely going to be around the sport. The sport's given so much to me. The reason I am where I am today and been able to last this long is because of all the people helping me. So I'm going to give back all these little tidbits over time, and we can have a really good gym at Kill Cliff FC and help guys get stronger so they can make money and compete at a high level. That's what I feel martial arts is about, is to give back and showing techniques. I would say there is fear because it's freaking unknown. I've been training and competing my whole life. Even when I was supposed to be in high school and middle school, I was training on how to get better at wrestling or football or fighting when I should be doing my homework. That's where I've always been." Robert Whittaker believes Dricus Du Plessis is even more dangerous because he knows he has nothing to lose. Rob says he's not underestimating Dricus at all.
He's the most dangerous fight to date, and that's because he's the one that's unwritten. You know, everything in hindsight's easy, right? But yeah, he's the unknown, and I understand the dangers that he presents because not only is he well-rounded and an athlete, and he, you know, physically he's a big guy. He's not a small fella. He has nothing to lose. Everyone's already washed him. He's the underdog in this fight, and tell me something more dangerous than a man with nothing to lose, everything to gain, you know, and to show respect for that level of danger that he's brought. I have trained like a madman for the last 14 weeks, and yeah, may the best man win. You know, he's going to get the best version of myself come the weekend. You see, I don't understand anybody who underestimates their opponents. Mate, we're in the fight game. We're in the best company in the world with the best fighters in the world. I don't understand where you think every single one of those guys in the division isn't going to knock your block off if you aren't ready. It's yeah, it just seems a little silly. He's the guy that if you underestimate, he's going to run over you. He, especially with his greatest strength, which is what I think his resilience, because he's been so close to defeat multiple times, yet somehow scraped victory. It's a scary trait to have.
So last week, Paulo Costa was trolling Khamzat Chimaev via Twitter. Khamzat posted this. It's of him shoving Khamzat's hat down his shorts. He wrote the deepest hat in the fight game. Khamzat appears to have now seen this tweet. He fired back with this. It's of Paulo when he was getting his hair transplant. He followed up with this. It's another photo of Paulo getting his hair transplant. Then an edited photo of Amanda Nunes, and it says before, in transition, and after. This past weekend at UFC Vegas 76, Kevin Lee made his UFC return and it did not go so well. Kevin fought up-and-comer Rinat Fakhretdinov, was dropped early in the first round, and got put into a guillotine and went unconscious. Michael Bisping and Anthony Smith on the Believe You Me podcast react to Kevin's unsuccessful return. Both feel very bad for Kevin, and Bisping reflects on watching Kevin wake up and realize all of his hard work did not pay off.
Credit to the referee for noticing that, because it was hard to tell. It was hard to tell, and man, I felt so bad for Kevin when he went down, like just
he was face down on the canvas asleep for a while. And have you been knocked out cold, Anthony?
Never cold, no.
Right, submitted out cold?
Never. No.
All right, well, allow me to elaborate.
I mean, I've gone out practice. I've gone out from a choke in practice on accident before.
The reason I bring this up, and I am in no way, shape or form mocking Kevin Lee. We're just talking about what I saw, and this is why I really felt for him as well, because he was unconscious for a while, face down on the canvas, and that's never a pretty sight. And the UFC do a good job of kind of editing around that, because, you know, it's hard to watch sometimes.
Right.
And I was looking at him because I was concerned when he was going to wake up, and I saw the moment when he opened his eyes. And as always, I've done it, and people do it all the time. So what happened? What's going on? Right. You know, and you can see the look on his face. He was like, but no. And it's like, it's the heartbreaking moment when it sinks in and you realize, no, bro,
Yep, he's out.
all that training, all that sacrifice, all that work, it's done, man. You got knocked out or choked out. It's horrible, man.
I don't know. I don't know how to quantify that for anyone else to understand. Like, I've never been out in a fight before. I've been I can't imagine what it would feel like in a fight, I guess. Like, because I've gone out and practiced, like fighting a choke, and you just wait too long and you go out and you wake up and you're super confused. And I would just be so terrible, especially as hard as he worked to get back. You know, he was out of the UFC and then, you know, he fought outside the UFC. He seemed really excited too. So I just feel, I just wanted him to be more successful. If he'd have had a long, drawn out 3-round battle and it was competitive back and forth.
I know.
Like, all right.
That's way better.
It is. It is.
It's way better. Nobody as a fighter wants to go out there and get finished, starched, put to sleep in the early rounds just like that. Let me just look at here.
Well, it probably feels like he didn't even have a good shot at it. You know, he didn't even feel like, I'm sure he didn't even feel like he got comfortable in there because it's new. It's different fighting in the UFC than it is anywhere else. So I'm sure it takes a second to get your footing back. And I don't know, that just sucks.
Following the footage coming out yesterday of Jon Jones and Israel Adesanya doing some light sparring, Jon and Tyson Fury had words for each other. Tyson reposted that video to his Instagram story. He wrote, @JohnnyBones, imagine the amount of right hands I'd catch you with here. Jon replied, I have no reason to doubt myself against any man. Give me a few months in a serious boxing camp. I like my chances. I may just knock you out. Tyson then reposted Jon's reply to his Instagram story. And that's going to wrap it up for the news. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to subscribe to Full Mount MMA and click the bell icon to be notified when we post future ones. Here are the 3 top comments from last video. The first one's in reference to Dan Hooker saying that he was offended for his management trying to get him a fight against Tony Ferguson. It's from 47 Ravenlord. It says the irony of Dan Hooker being offended by the possibility of fighting Tony Ferguson when they're basically in the same situation is hilarious. Both were very high level, hard to beat, running decent streaks, then made dumb decisions that led to a horrific beating, and instead of staying out to recover, they ran back out there to receive much more damage that seems to have permanently lowered their fight capability. The second one's in reference to the footage of Jon Jones and Izzy. It's from The Eagle Has Landed. It says to think Jon is 2 years older than Izzy is crazy. And the final one's from Illegal Streamer. It says Dan Hooker is a walking L right now. Those were the 3 top comments from last video. If you want to be featured on the next one, all you have to do is comment down below. If you missed yesterday's news, click the video on screen to get caught up. And make sure to go subscribe to our second channel where we post our exclusive MMA interviews.